shoes on my feet, stomping out the negativity. Everybody not a friend of me. Spread the love, still I move deliberately. Bunny face on, but the smile be heavenly. Brooklyn girls, so they love the energy. Love sincerity, so I take the liberty to take them on a journey lyrically. Through hallways and alleys.
Hey, mama, we are official. Hey, welcome everyone to the official pilot show of the next chapter, where Melissa and I, your host, Minister Cat Kitty Rose, discuss Shades of Gray. Welcome to BronxNet, Brick, Manhattan Network. Welcome to public access television, Melissa. Hey, mama.
Woo! We've made it.
All of you made it. All the way from Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Yes.
Other there right now.
Hot.
Nope.
It's always hot.
It ain't hot here in New York, but it's hot in the studio because after 2.5 years, we're back in the studio. So I am so excited. I'm so excited to have BronxNet team facilitating this pilot show of the next chapter. And let's get into it. Let's hit it. What is the topic of the day? Come on, guys. Let's do it. We are talking about today dating
outside one's race. Yeah. So, Kitty, let me ask you something.
Go ahead,
do you
girl.
date white men?
Okay. No. I have tried to date a couple of white men. I've went on 2 dates with 2 white dudes, right? And it's so funny because the one white dude, he made it his business. Like, we bumped into some black friends and he made it his business to tell them he was on a date with me. So I was like a little like, hey now, what's going on? And then the other white guy, I had the stereotype because he was white, he should know how to take me out. And he took me to some free shit. And it's just, I was turned off. It was a cheap date and I was turned off. And he was very touchy-feely, like very like just on me. And I got turned off with that. And
this is not the guy that stole a sandwich, right?
No, he was black. I know. He was black. But I think what happens for me is that I think the topic is so broad in regards to dating outside of one race and then automatically making that the white man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I'm open to dating outside of my race. Like, I would love to try an Asian man, you know, not a short one, but like a tall Japanese guy. You know what I'm saying? I would love to try Latin men because they're so passionate. But I really believe that for me, in the whole procreation, I want to procreate with my own. Now I've done that. So I'm in the next chapter of my life. I'm an empty nester. So I don't have to worry about procreation. But I also think it's something about wanting, when he touches my hand, you know, wanting to see the same color. When the white dude touched my hand, I was turned off. And I tried to get past that because I'm like, in the dark, we're all the same. But I think the whole idea of a pink dick, pink lips, like, it just turns me off. I'm like, nah, B, I'm good. Even though my vibrator is pink. So it's like, I'm like, wait a minute, how we justifying that? Do you date black men? I mean, you're in Puerto Rico now. I don't know. Are you around a lot of white dudes? So
I am around a lot of white dudes, a lot of Puerto Rican dudes. Okay. I've got Indian men. I've got Asian men. Puerto Rico is like, I don't know, a mecca of a whole bunch of different races together, all enjoying the crypto boom here in Puerto Rico. So so I enjoy dating all different races. I actually prefer non-white individuals to date, which is interesting, right? Because you prefer no white, I prefer not to date white men on a regular basis. And I wondered about that sometimes, like, why is that? And I think it's like this white privilege, right? White men having this white privilege. And yes, I am white and I also get that privilege, but white men don't have that experience of, that oppression as a woman would have. And so sometimes I feel like that is taken for granted when dating white men and them not realizing that there is oppression and things like that. So I think that's why I am more geared to dating non-white men or women. I mean, I think I would date white women. So specifically more of white men.
And I think what's interesting about that is that for me, I feel like white men always, like, dating a white man feels like he's trying to one up my brothers. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm.
always felt like I don't want you to have that authority. I don't want you ever to be like, yeah, I got that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because black men deal with so much oppression, you know what I'm saying, and deal with white supremacy, that I feel like it's my obligation almost, or my responsibility to cover over my black men by making sure that if no one got you, I got you. But then I
Mm.
think the problem with that is that we as black women feel like we're still getting the short end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? Because here, when we do date white men or men outside of our race, we get treated so much better. We get the affection that we want. We get the attention that we want. You know, we get the family oriented stuff that we want. We get the commitment that we want. You know, white men, I feel like, are quick to want to show you affection. Well, I might think that that's too much. But then if I'm dealing with a black man that I can't get him to say shit or touch me, you know what I'm saying? Then do I end up going with the man who's going to show me that affection, that attention, who happens to be white?
Mm-hmm.
Am
Well,
I
that brings
am
me
I
to a
doing
question.
a disservice? Am I doing a disservice to myself?
Well, I'm wondering the affection part because, there's the therapist brain that comes in for me
Let's
because
hear it.
not only am I an artist and a coach, but my background is in therapy. But the affection thing, does that have to do with the way we're brought up versus the race? Is it a cultural thing or is it just an environmental thing? So I wonder, what do you think is about that? You say Black men don't typically tend to be affectionate. And I've been with white men who are not affectionate either. So do you think it's a cultural thing or do you think that it's an environmental, how we're brought up type of thing?
In my professional career, I believe that everything is a cultural thing, you know.
Mm,
But I also think that's another myth or stereotype that we've been made to believe because,
mhm,
I think white men, in my experience, have been affectionate. But that doesn't mean that all white men are affectionate. You know what I'm saying? I think that my experience and some of the women of my friends have been black men that don't have or that are not affectionate, but that's not the case for every man. So I think that we have to figure out what's good for us. But I did have a video this week that I wanted to shake things up and get some feedback to what you think about it. So let's go to the video.
All right.
So do you think it's racist to have racial sexual preferences?
That's not racist, is it? Is it racist?
That's not racist, that's just your preference, and that's absolutely fine.
I think it is racist.
It's only racist because it can kind of make people feel that they're being judged for the colour of their skin. Like,
I think it's a problem because it's built on a stereotype that they might have gained through the media, popular culture, music. They think like all of these women that are in these music videos are going to behave a certain way in the bedroom or like do things that they haven't had done to them before.
When you want to be with somebody because you fetishize them because of their race, yes, that is absolutely racist.
Like wanting mixed race children, like, so you're gonna go out with this particular race just because you want this kind of child that looks like this and has this colour eyes. Yeah, those sort of things there is just, that's messed up.
Thoughts?
Kitty, are you racist because you don't like pink penises?
Yes, I am. I am. And I think that we should own that. You know what I'm saying? I think that we live in this fake ass bubble that think that only white folks can be racist. I think that I think that it's easier to say that it's my preference, but it's more than just my preference. I don't want to procreate with white men. I don't want to bring a white man home to my family. I barely want my children to bring white people home when they're dating. My son took 3 semesters to tell me before he was in a white fraternity. That's
Really?
like, why would my son, the child that I birthed, not want to tell me about something that's so exciting about the fraternity that he's a part of. And then he ended up becoming the chapter of his fraternity. But because of my way of thinking, sometimes he did not want to share that with me right away. You know what I'm saying? So I think, yes, I am racist when it comes to white folks. I don't think I'm racist when it comes to people of other cultures, of other races, because I feel like we've all kind of maybe bonded under the throne of white supremacy. So maybe I think my issue, I think I have too much built up anger and resentment, that as much as I am, alhamdulillah, you know, Christian, you know, love everyone, I do. That's the Christian part of me. But then the Christian part of me also decides who I want to lay down with. And when it comes to who I want to build a future with, who I want to grow old with, who I want to die with, it's not a white man. And I think that that's a fucked up way of thinking. I think I'm very much limiting myself, because if a white man happens to fall in love with me and love me unconditionally, I'm blocking my blessings when it comes to that. But I truly believe that because Jehovah knows my heart, he better make sure he gave me a brother.
I think it was an interesting fact when they mentioned fetishizing a race, right? Because I remember, I would say, like back in the 90s, when I feel like it was a thing, be like, oh, I'm gonna bring home like a boy of a different race, because now it's kind of like exotic, or you know, like, I don't know, we're gonna see if we can ruffle the feathers of our parents because we're bringing home somebody from a different race. I remember that happening. And then when people were having babies, like teenagers, young adults, and it's like, okay, now we have a baby that's mixed race. And then that was like, oh, you know, that was a big deal. Like, let's ruffle feathers that way too. So I remember that. And that's when they mentioned like fetishizing it. That memory had come up for me during that period. I don't feel like that is the case anymore, but that could be just because I'm older in different environments. What do you think?
No, I think people are still procreating to have pretty babies. You know what I'm saying? I think so.
Yeah.
And I think that that's kind of racist. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to have designer babies. So you know,
Designer
designer
babies.
babies. You know what I'm saying? You want the babies with the good hair. You know what I'm saying? And I, because you set it up that way. You know, I know I've been around women having conversations about, I'm going to date a certain type of man so that my children can look a certain way. And I think that people don't hear themselves when they make such comments like that. You know, and I think that when they do make such comments like that, they don't want to take ownership about how they really feel about it. Like, I think that it's okay to have a preference. I don't think that that necessarily makes you racist. I think your reasons can be racist. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean you're racist because you have a preference to what you like, unless it's based on because he's a certain class. And I do believe, like I said earlier, the racist part of me comes from, I believe that white folks has fucked up every single race, including themselves. So I don't
agree.
be a part of you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm torn with that as a Christian, because I still develop awesome relationships with white folks, white men, white women, but I'm okay with just making money with y'all. But I don't want to lay down.
Yeah, I thought we had more than that.
I know. It's so sad. But you know what? I'm a work in progress. And I think
Aren't we all though, right?
Hello. And I think that that's the beauty of it. That's one of the things that is so merciful about the Creator. Jehovah God takes us where we are. You know what I'm saying? He gives us instructions using the scriptures, using these books, you know, of information for us to guide us through. But ultimately, we have to figure out how we move and how we operate on this plane as we're living this human existence. So even though we might have views, that doesn't mean that they're going to stay that way. This next chapter in my life is so much about evolving, about understanding why I feel what I feel, because it didn't just come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I didn't just say, oh, you know, I'm not dating white men. You know what I'm saying? There's reasons for this. And there might be my own trauma, because I also know that I never wanted to be in a relationship with a dude And one day we get in an argument and he called me nigga.
Oh,
I never wanted to get in a situation.
I just got like a chill run through my body. Oh my gosh.
And I never wanted to be in a situation where a white man can feel like he got up on me. And I never wanted to feel that when we're out in public and we get stopped by the police, that we get a pass because he got a pretty exotic black woman in the car, or maybe not get a pass because the white dude is jealous that he got a beautiful black exotic woman in the car. Like I never wanted to deal with those issues. I felt like if I was going to deal with those issues, let me deal with it with my own. And that I think that's backwards thinking.
Even just having this conversation opens my eyes to that experience, because that's nothing that I've ever had to think about, right? Of being called a derogatory name in the middle of a fight, or being pulled over and maybe, getting judged a different way because the car might.
But a black dude could say, "Yo, you cracker." You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's in the lingo.
It doesn't hit as hard.
We're not just walking around saying cracker. We don't say honky no more.
If somebody said that, I would die laughing.
You honky. you might say, pull your dick out. That turned me on.
That, we should go to our PSAs.
Yeah, let's go to our PSA.
Black Girls Rock. Reading is power, and that power is ours. Join the Black Girls Rock Book Club, empowered by Microsoft.
Almost Sade Skincare takes pride in using natural, nurturing skincare products to make New Yorkers glow and love their skin. For the past 30 years, we have tailor-made skincare regimens for people and their unique skin type. Now everyone can enjoy this service for free. All skin types, all ages. Your skin, your match. Simply go to SadeSkincare.com and sign up now for your free consultation.
If you're using sex toys with your partner, you can also use condoms on those sex toys. Just make sure that you put a new condom on in between use, and always, always, always clean your sex toys with warm soap and water after use. For more information on STIs and practicing safer sex, go to PlannedParenthood.org.
See, I don't know you at all, but I'm bout it if you bout it. Don't act like you are doing a favor, but honestly I swear you're my savior, girl. And I don't know if I'll see you later, so I'm bout it if you bout it.
Everything we do is about community empowerment, building, learning, growing, and becoming self-sufficient. Tech believes that financial freedom and education are the civil rights movement of our time.
Okay, I have so many questions for Planned Parenthood. Why am I putting a condom on my mouth ball gag?
But making sure you wash in between with soap and water. But I think you need a little bit more than that in between my toy. Shit.
So many questions. Can we get them on the show?
I know. Yes, let's do that. Let's put it out to the universe. But what I want to do is thank our underwriters, but a special shout out to Marco and his team for the Bronx Market. FYI, guys, they're also doing Harlem this year. We did Harlem last year, and it was an amazing turnout. So this year, the Bronx Market, the food thing is not only in the Bronx, but it's also in Harlem. I wanted to give a special shout out also to, yes, Planned Parenthood, but there was someone else that I forgot. It doesn't matter.
Is it Maxim? I don't know, that handsome man in the suit.
Yes, Harlem Check. You know, I've been getting all of my tickets for Broadway from them. So shout out to my management team out in Harlem. Shout out to TEC for proper management and financial education and literacy. I mean, just the type of people that is involved and the type of people that's working with us and supporting us. You know, this is a community effort. You know, just like being on public access television, this is a community effort that the government allows us to have a voice, you know, in television, in broadcasting, in media. So we don't take this responsibility lightly. So when we have those involved like Black Girls Rock, or we have those involved like Planned Parenthood, it makes us look better and feel better about the work we're doing, because we definitely understand that we're all going through next chapters of our lives, you know, and it just so happened that Melissa and I are grateful that we have this platform to discuss with you the next chapters that we're dealing with and how we're dealing with them, like interracial dating. You know, interracial dating, you know, is a touchy subject because we don't want to always set the wrong example or the wrong tone. And sometimes we worry more about what other people think about how things look than how we actually can be affected by stuff and how we can actually benefit from things. You know, I think that I'm blocking myself by only dating inside my race, but that's my preference, you know. And so far, I don't know how successful I've been. You know, I'm dating a Black man right now that I like very much. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think, you know, you put it out there to the universe about what you want as a whole. Like, if anything, what would you say would be your roundup, you know, your come together Jesus moment? Because I feel like mine's is, you know, everything is manifestation. So you can almost put the man you want into like this list that we have, right? The quality.
You don't have a list? You don't have a manifestation?
I got a list. But
I got a list. No, I got a list.
I got a list. You know what I'm saying? You can put the qualities. I think that's what it comes down to. It's the qualities we want, you know, and maybe the fact that we want them in our own race could be. But I think that that's what ultimately comes down to. How is someone treating us, you know? And that is what we should put into manifestation. That's what we should put into prayer of what we're looking for, what we want when it comes to a partner. Because I think that love, you know, the beauty
and understanding too, like understanding where that other person is coming from and what traumas that person has come from, you know, in their life, and then just like their history, just the cultural history and the trauma that comes through that, because there's also generational trauma that follows along with people too. And so I think being aware of that is extremely important too. And then, you know, I'm trying to do my part, because I do date outside of my white race, of like learning more about that history, learning about like, what is it that, you know, is causing some of these triggers to happen. So I think it's responsibility of learning about your partner too, and the partner's culture and the background.
So what would be your roundup? What would be
my roundup is
your takeaway? What would be your
relationships are work, right? No matter what race it is. But I think it's important to respect and understand the background of your partner and where your partner is coming from. And, you know, some of the roadblocks that can come up in those relationships. And communication, open communication is a beautiful thing to have. And having that and being allowed that space to feel like you can be open and vulnerable without judgment is so important, no matter what gender, race, whatever you are, you know, dating. I think that's what's important.
Well, hey, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I think that's
and I also learned today that the stereotype that women are good on their knees.
Wait, wait, but I think that's a stereotype that men have. You know what I'm saying? I think that because I've heard that from black men. You know what I'm saying? In regards to why they date white women, because they are a lot more subservient. But the funny thing is that I know plenty of sisters.
Yeah.
I know plenty of sisters that, you know what I'm saying? And I know plenty of
this is why we're not going to get on before midnight on public access.
I know that was my goal. My goal was to get it at 8 o'clock time slot. I really was trying to compete with The View and was trying to get on at 11 o'clock in the morning, but I don't know if that's going to work. So, but the beautiful thing, guys, is that you can watch us every week on public access television, but you can also watch us on YouTube. And then what you can do is you can make sure that while you're watching all of us in all of these different platforms, that you like us, you follow us, you share us, and you subscribe to us. But not only like, follow, share, and subscribe, we want to hear your thoughts. We want you guys to comment. Melissa doesn't always check the comments, but I check the comments, and I really want you guys.
If they're juicy, I will check them.
We'll do it anyway. Like, follow, share, and subscribe, because this, like I said, it's a community effort. It's a community project. You know, the bigger we become, we take you guys on this ride with us. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that you guys are also going through the next chapters of your lives. So you're on this journey with us as we're exploring and understanding, because in understanding, it gives us overstanding to be the best of ourselves. And that's what the next chapter is about. The next chapter, we discuss shades of gray. Let's put that on the screen. We discuss shades of gray. We discuss shades of gray because not everything is black and white. Not everything is black and white, even though your host, Kitty Rose and
Melissa D.
Yes, everybody. And you know, this, I mean, I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to coming to you guys every week. They come back. We will have in the credits what stations you can find us on. But this is your girl. I am so happy to be here. I am so happy to officially be official. We are here. We have made it. I'm your girl, Minister Cat, aka Kitty Rose.
And I'm Melissa De Silva.
Yes, Melissa D, live from Puerto Rico. And we are coming to you from BronxNet Studios by way of StreamYard. Let's not forget to shout out StreamYard because they are supporting us. Don't forget, everyone, check out our YouTube channels and check out us on your local listings. We are the next chapter, everyone. Mwah. We love you guys. Stay safe out there. All right, guys.
Legendary ciphers, get the MCs in the jobs. The city never sleeps. Slept from 1 to 5 when COVID hit the block and we had to stay inside. Tough love is all I know, so be gentle with my soul. Learn to navigate winters with no coat. If you never been cold, you never been broke. Hustle 24/7 just to stay afloat. So New York, like dollar pizza in that cold world shit. That real life break from the heart of the city is as hard as it gets. This that New York shit. That real life break from the heart of the city.